Way. Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for being here again. Today we're going to be reading out of the book of Nehemiah. Continuing in the Snowball Bible reading plan. If you're following along in your own Bible, I'm reading out of the scriptures today, and it's going to be on page 830. How you guys doing this morning? No, some mornings you wake up just feeling great. Well, today wasn't one of those mornings for me. Just kind of been not wanting to get out of my bed. I wonder where the resistance is. But all right, we're going to just jump right into scripture. Nehemiah chapter 1. The words of Nehemiah, son of Hakaliah. And it came to be in the new moon of Kislew on the 20th year, as I was in the citadel of Shushan, that Hanani, one of the brothers, came with men from Yehuda, and I asked them concerning the Yehudim who had escaped. Honey, will you shut that door for me, please?
Yeah,
All that
sorry, I'm not...
white noise. Who had escaped, who had survived the captivity, and concerning Jerusalem. And they said to me, the remnant who are left of the captivity in the province are there in the great evil and reproach. In great evil and reproach. And the wall of Jerusalem is broke down, and its gates are burned with fire. And it came to be, when I heard these words, that I sat down and wept, and mourned for many days. For I was fasting and praying before the Elohim of the heavens. And I said, I pray, Elohim of the heavens, O great and awesome El, guarding the covenant and loving commitment with those who love you, and with those guarding your commands. Please let your ear be attentive and your eyes open, and hear the prayer of your servant, which I am praying before you now, day and night, for the children of Israel, your servants, and confess the sins of the children of Israel, which we have sinned against you. Both my father's house and I have sinned. We have acted very corruptly against you, and have not guarded the commands, nor the laws, nor the right rulings which you commanded your servant Moshe. Please remember the word that you have commanded your servant Moshe, saying, if you trespass, I shall scatter you among the peoples. But if you shall turn back to me, and guard my commands, and do them, though you were cast out to the end of the heavens, I shall gather them from there, and bring them to the place which I have chosen, and make my name dwell there. And they are your servants and your people, and you have whom you have ransomed by your great power and by your strong hand. O Yahweh, I pray, please let your ear be attentive to the prayer of your servant, and to the prayer of your servants who delight to fear your name. And let your servant prosper this day, I pray, and grant him compassion in the presence of this man, for I was cupbearer to the king. And it came to be in the new moon of Nisan, in the 20th year of Artashdashta, the sovereign, when wine was before him, and I took the wine and gave it to the sovereign, and I had never been sad in his presence. And the sovereign said to me, why is your face sad, since you are not sick? This is none else but sorrow of heart. Then I was very much afraid, and said to the sovereign, let the sovereign live forever. Why should my face not be sad, when the city, the place of my father's burial sites, lies waste, and its gates are burned with fire? And the sovereign said to me, what are you asking for? Then I prayed to the Elohim of the heavens, and said to the sovereign, if it seems good to the sovereign, And if your servant is pleasing before you, I ask that you send me to Yehuda, to the city of my father's burial site, so that I build it. And the sovereign, with the sovereigness sitting beside him, said to me, how long would your journey take? And when do you return? So it seemed good before the sovereign to send me, and I set him a time. And I said to the sovereign, if it seems good to the sovereign, let letters be given to me for the governors beyond the river, that they should let me pass through till I come to Yehuda. And a letter to Asaph, the keeper of the sovereign's forest. Sorry, I hope that didn't mess up everything too bad. And the letter to Asaph, the keeper of the sovereign's forest, that he should give me timber to make beams for the gates of the city that belongs to the house, and for the city wall, and for the house I would enter. And the sovereign gave them to me according to the good hand of my Elohim upon me. Then I came to the governors beyond the river, and gave to them the letter of the sovereign. Now the sovereign had sent commanders of the army and horsemen with me, and Sanballat the Haranite and Tobiah the Ammonite official heard of it, and to them it was evil, a great evil, that a man had come to seek good for the children of Israel. Then I came to Jerusalem, and was there 3 days. And I rose up in the night, I and a few men with me, but informed no one what my Elohim had put in my heart to do at Jerusalem, nor was there any beast with me, except the beast on which I rode. And I went out by night through the valley gate to the jackal's fountain and the dung gate, to examine the walls of Jerusalem, which were broken down, and its gates, which were burned with fire. And I went on to the fountain gate and to the sovereign's pool, but there was no room for the beast that was under me to pass. And I went up in the night by the wadi, and examined the wall, and turned back, and entered by the gate, the valley gate, and returned. And the deputy rulers did not know where I had gone, nor what I had done, nor had I yet informed the Yehudim, or the priests, or the nobles, or the deputy rulers, or the others whom did the work. Then I said to them, you see the evil which we are in, how Jerusalem lies waste, and its gates are burned with fire. Come, let us build the wall of Jerusalem, and let us no longer be a reproach. And I informed them of the hand of my Elohim, which had been good upon me, and also of the sovereign's words he had spoken to me. And they said, let us rise up, and we shall build. So they made their hands strong for good. But when Sanballat the Haranite heard, and Tobiah the servant, the Ammonite, and Geshem the Arab, they mocked us and despised us, and said, what is this you are doing? Are you rebelling against the sovereign? And I answered them and said to them, the Elohim of heavens he shall bless us, and let us, his servants, rise and build. But you have no portion or right or remembrance in Jerusalem. I'll grab my coffee real quick. Shalom, Melissa Williams. Good morning. Oh. All right. Chapter 3. And Eliashib, the high priest, rose up with his brothers and priests, and built the sheep gate, They set it apart and set up its doors, even as far as the tower of Hamiah. They set it apart as far as the tower of Hananel. And at his hand the men of Jericho built, and at his hand Zachar son of Imri built. And the sons of Hassanah built the fish gate, who laid its beams and set up its doors, its bolts and bars. And at their hand Meremoth son of Uriah son of Koz strengthened. And at their hand Meshullam son of Berechiah son of Beshezabel straightened. And at their hand Zadok son of Baana strengthened. And at their hand the Tekoites strengthened, but their nobles did not put their shoulders to the work of their master. The Jehoiada son of Pesah and Meshullam son of Besodeiah strengthened the old gate. They laid its beams and set up its doors, and its bolts and its bars. And at their hand Meletiah the Gibeonite and Yarden the Maranathite, the men of Gibeon and Mitzpah strengthened the official seat of the governor beyond the river. At his hand Uzziel son of Harhaiah, one of the goldsmiths, strengthened, and at his hand Hananiah, one of the perfumers, strengthened, and they restored Jerusalem as far as the broad wall. And at their hand Rephaiah son of Hur, ruler of half the district of Jerusalem, strengthened, and at their hand Yediah son of Haramath strengthened, even opposite the house. And at his hand Hattush son of Hashabneiah strengthened, Malchiah son of Harim, and Hashub son of Paoth Moab strengthened another section, and the tower of the ovens. And at his hand Shallum son of Halohesh, ruler of half the district of Jerusalem, strengthened, and he and his daughters. Hanun and the people of Zanoah strengthened the valley gate. They built it, and set up its doors, its bolts and bars, and 1,000 cubits of wall as far as the dung gate. And the dung gate was strengthened by Malchiah son of Rechab, ruler of the district of Beth Hakerem. He built it and set up its doors, its bolts and bars, and the fountain gate was strengthened by Shallun son of Kol Hazeh, ruler of the district of Mitzpah. He built it and covered it and set up its doors, its bolts and bars, also the walls of the pool of Shelah by the sovereign's garden, as far as the stairs going down from the city of David. After him Nehemiah son of Azbuk, ruler of half the district of Beth Sur, strengthened as far as Lucia, will you turn your phone down a little bit, please? After him the Levites Rehum son of Bani strengthened at his hand strengthened Hashbiah, ruler of half the district of Keilah, for his district. After him their brothers Bawai son of Henadad, ruler of the other half of the district of Keilah, strengthened. And at his hand Ezer, son of Yeshua, the ruler of Mitzpah, strengthened another section before the going up to the armory at the corner. After him, Baruch, son of Zabbai, eagerly strengthened the other section from the buttress to the door of the house of Elishib, the high priest. After him, Meremoth, son of Uriah, son of Kotes, strengthened another section, from the door of the house of Elishib to the end of the house of Elishib, and after him the priests, the men of the neighborhood, strengthened. After him, Benjamin and Hashub strengthened opposite their house. After them, Azariah, son of Maaseiah, son of Ananiah, strengthened near his house. After him, Binnui, son of Henadad, strengthened another section, from the house of Azariah to the angle, even as far as the corner. Palal, son of Uzziah, strengthened opposite the corner, and on the tower which projects from the sovereign's upper house, that was by the courtyard of the prison. After him, Pedaiah, son of Parosh, now the Nethanim, dwelt in Ophel, as far as the opposite of the water gate, toward the east, and on the projecting tower. Excuse me. After him, the Tekoites strengthened another section opposite the great projecting tower, and as far as the wall of Ophel. Beyond the horse gate, and the priests strengthened, each opposite his own house. After them, Zadok, son of Immer. After him, Shemaiah, son of Shechaniah, keeper of the east gate, strengthened. After him, Hananiah, son of Shelamiah, and Hanun, the sixth son of Saleph, strengthened another section. After him, Meshulam, son of Barakiah, strengthened opposite his room. After him, Malchiah, one of the goldsmiths, strengthened as far as the house of the Nethanim, and of the merchants opposite the Mifkat gate, and as far as the going up of the corner. And between the going up of the corner to the sheep gate, the goldsmiths and the merchants strengthened. Chapter 4. And it came to be, when Sanballat heard that we were rebuilding the wall, that he was wroth and highly offended, and mocked the Yehudim. And he spoke before his brothers and the army of Shamaron, and said, "What are these feeble Yehudim doing? Are they going to restore slaughter completed in a day? Are they going to bring to life the stones from the heaps of rubbish which are burned?" And Tobiah the Ammonite was beside him, and he said, "Whatever they build, if a fox should climb on it, he shall break down their stone wall. Hear, O our Elohim, for we have become despised, and turn back their reproach on their own heads, and give them as a prey in the land of captivity. And do not cover over the crookedness, and do not let their sin be blotted out from before you, for they have provoked you before the builders." So we built the wall, and the entire wall was joined together up to half of it, for the people had a heart to work. And it came to be, when Sanballat and Tobiah and the Arabs and the Ammonites and the Ashdodites heard that the walls of Jerusalem were being repaired, and the broken places began to be filled, that they became very wroth, and all of them conspired together to come to fight against Jerusalem and to do harm to it. But we prayed to our Elohim and set a watch against them day and night because of them. And Yehuda said, "The strength of the burden bearers is weakened, and there is so much rubbish that we are unable to build the wall. And our adversaries said, let them not know or see it until we come into their midst, and shall kill them, and cause the work to cease. And it came to be, when the Yehudim who dwelt near them came, that they said to us 10 times, for whatever place you turn, they are against us. So I set men behind the lower parts of the wall. At the openings I set the people according to their clans, with their swords, their spears, and their bows. And I looked and rose up and said to the nobles and to the deputy rulers and to the rest of the people, do not be afraid of them. Remember the great and awesome Yahweh, and fight for your brothers, your sons and your daughters, your wives and your houses. And it came to be, when the enemies heard that it was not known to us, and that Elohim had brought their counsel to naught, that all of us returned to the wall, every one to his work. And it came to be from that time on, that half of my servants were working in the work, while the other half were holding the spears and the shields and the bows and the breastplates. And the rulers were behind the house of Yehuda, who were building on the wall, and those bearing burdens, those loading, working with one hand in the work, and the other holding a weapon. As for the builders, each one had his sword girded at his side as he built, and the one who sounded with the shofar was beside me. And I said to the nobles, man, it sounds like they're ready to go to war any given time. And I said to the nobles and to the deputy rulers and to the rest of the people, the work is great and large, and we are separate from far from one another on the wall. In whatever place you hear the voice of the shofar, join us there. Our Elohim fights for us. So we labored in the work, and half of them held the spears from the break of the day until the stars appeared. And at that time I also said to the people, let each man and his servant spend the night in Jerusalem, and they shall be our guard by night, and for the work by day. So neither I, nor my brothers, nor my servants, nor the men of the guard who followed me, none of us took off our garments, each one his weapon, even at the water. Chapter 5. And there was a great outcry of the people and their wives against their brothers, the Yehudim. And there were some who were saying, we, our sons and our daughters, are many. Let us get grain for them and eat and live. And there were some who were saying, we have mortgages, our lands, we have mortgaged our lands, the vineyards and houses. Let us buy grain because of the scarcity of food. And there were those who were saying, we have borrowed silver for the sovereign's tax on our lands and vineyards, and now our flesh is like the flesh of our brothers, our children like their children. And see, we are subjecting our sons and our daughters to be slaves. And some of our daughters have already been subjected, and there is no power in our hands. For other men have our lands and vineyards. And it was very displeasing to me when I heard their outcry and these words. And my heart ruled over me, and I strove with the nobles and with the deputy rulers, and said to them, you are exacting interest, each one from his brother. And I called a great assembly against them, and said to them, according to our ability we have redeemed our brothers, the Yehudim, who were sold to the nations, and you even sell your brothers. Or should they be sold to us? And they were silent and found not a word to say. I also said, what you are doing is not good. Should you not walk in the fear of our Elohim because of the reproach of the nations, our enemies? And also, I, my brothers, and my servants am sending them and lending them silver and grain. Please let us leave off this interest." Right? Because there's a Torah for that. You don't charge your brother interest. "Please give back to them, even today, their lands, their vineyards, their olive trees, and their houses, also the 100th part of the silver, and of the grain, and the new wine, and of the oil that you have taken from them." And they said, "Let us give it back, and ask no more from them. We do as you say." Then I called the priests and made them swear to do according to this word. I also shook out the fold of my garment and said, "Let Elohim in this way shake out each man from his house and from his property, who does not do this word, even to be thus shaken out and emptied." And all the assembly said, "Amen," and praised Yahweh, and the people did according to this word. Also, from that day I was commanded to be the governor of the land of Yehuda from the 20th year until the 32nd year of the sovereign Artashtashta. 12 years, neither I nor my brothers ate the governor's food. But the former governors who were before me laid burdens on all the people, and took from them bread and wine, besides 40 shekels of silver. Their servants also oppressed the people, but I did not do so, because of the fear of Elohim. And I also worked strongly in the work on this wall. We did not buy any land, and all my servants were gathered there for the work. And at my table there were 150 of the Yehudim and deputy rulers, beside those who came to us from the nations around us. And that which was prepared for me daily was 1 ox and 6 choice sheep, and birds were prepared for me, and once every 10 days plenty of all kinds of wine. And in spite of this, I did not seek the governor's food, because the bondage was heavy on this people. O my Elohim, remember me remember me for the good, all that I have done for this people. Chapter 6. And it came to be, when Sanballat and Tobiah and Geshem the Arab and the rest of our enemies heard that I had rebuilt the wall, and that there were no breaks left in it, though at that time I had not set up the doors and the gates, that Sanballat and Geshem sent to me, saying, "Come, let us meet together in the villages in the plain of Ono." But they were planning to do evil to me. So I sent messengers to them, saying, "I am doing a great work, and I am unable to come down. Why should the work cease while I leave it and come down to you?" However, they sent me the same word 4 times, and I answered them the same word. Then Sanballat sent his servant to me with an open letter in his hand, and the same word the 5th time, and it was written, "Among the nations it has been heard, and Gashmu is saying that you and the Yehudim are planning to rebel. Therefore, you are rebuilding the wall, and you are to be their sovereign, according to these words. And you have also appointed prophets to proclaim concerning you at Jerusalem, saying, a sovereign is in Yehuda. And now these words are heard by the sovereign. Therefore come now, and let us take counsel together." Then I sent to him, saying, "There are no such matters done as you are saying, but you are inventing them in your own heart. For all of them were making us afraid, saying, 'Let their hands slacken for the work, and it not be done. But now make my hands strong.' And when I came to the house of Shemaiah, son of Deliah, son of Mehetabel, who was restrained, he said, 'Let us meet together in the house of Elohim, inside the Hekal, and let us close the door of the Hekal, for they are coming to kill you. By night they are coming to kill you.' And I said, 'Should a man flee a man like me flee? And who is there like me who would go into a call to save his life? I do not go in. And see, I perceive that Elohim and not had not sent him, but that he spoke this prophecy against me because Tobiah and Sanballat had hired him, because he was a hireling, that I should be afraid and do so, and shall sin, and so they could give me an evil name to reproach me. My Elohim, remember Tobiah and Sanballat according to these works of theirs, and their prophetess Noadiah, and the rest of the prophets who would have made me afraid. And the wall was completed on the 25th of the month of Elul, in 52 days. It came to be when all our enemies heard, and all the nations around us saw, that they fell greatly in their own eyes, and knew that the work was done by our Elohim. In those days, the nobles of Yehuda also sent many letters to Tobiah, while those of Tobiah came to them. For many in Yehudim were sworn to him, because he was the son-in-law of Shechaniah, son of Arah, and his son Yehonan had married the daughter of Meshullam, son of Barakiah. They were also speaking about his good deeds before me, and reported my words to him. Tobiah sent letters to frighten me. Okay, chapter 7. And it came to be, when the wall was rebuilt, that I set up the doors, and the gatekeepers, and the singers, and the Levites were appointed. And I put my brother Hanani in the command of Jerusalem, and Hananiah the head of the place, for he was a trustworthy man, and feared Elohim more than many. And I said to them, let not the gates of Jerusalem be opened until the sun is hot, and while they are standing by, let them shut the doors and bolt them, and appoint guards from among the inhabitants of Jerusalem, each at his post, and each in front of his own house. And the city was wide on both sides, and great, but the people in it were few, and the houses were not rebuilt. And my Elohim put it in my heart to gather the nobles and the deputy rulers and the people, in order to be registered by genealogy. And I found a register of the genealogy of those who had come up at the beginning, and I found written in it, these are the sons of the province who came back from the captivity of the exiles. All right, here we go. Whom Nebuchadnezzar, the son of Babel, had exiled, and who returned to Jerusalem and Yehuda, each to his city, who came with Zerubbabel, Yeshua, Nehemiah, Azariah, Raamiah, Nehemiah, Mordecai, Bilshan, Mispereth, Bigwai, Nahum, Baana, the number of the men of the people of Israel, son of Parosh, 2,172, son of Shephatiah, 372, son of Era, 652, son of Paeth Moab, of the sons of Yeshua and Joab, 2,818, sons of Elam, 1,254, sons of Zatu, 845, sons of Zakai, 760, sons of Benui, 648, sons of Bebai, 628, sons of Azgad, 2,322, sons of Adonikam, 667, sons of Bigwai, 2,067, sons of Adin, 655, sons of Adar, of Hizkiah, 98, sons of Hashum, 328, sons of Betsai, 324, sons of Hariph, 112. Sons of Gibbon, 95. Men of Bethlehem and Netophah, 188. Men of Anathoth, 128. Men of Beth Asmaweth, 42. Men of Kiriath Yearim, Kephirah, and Beeroth, 743. Men of Ramah and Geba, 621. Men of Michmas, 122. Men of Bethel and Ai, 173. Men of the other Nebo, 52. Sons of the other Elam, 1,254. Sons of Harim, 320. Sons of Yoko, 345. Sons of Lod, Hadid, and Ono, 721. Sons of Senaa, 3,930. The priests, sons of Yehuda, of the house of Yeshua, 973. Sons of Emer, 1,052. Sons of Pashur, 1,247. Sons of Harim, 1,017. The Levites, sons of Yeshua, of Kadmiel, of the sons of Hodewah, 74. The singers, sons of Asaph, 148. The gatekeepers, sons of Shallum, sons of Ater, sons of Talmon, sons of Akub, sons of Hatita, sons of Shobai, 138. The Nethanim, sons of Siha, sons of Hasupha, sons of Taboath, sons of Kairos, sons of Sai, sons of Padon, sons of Lebanah, sons of Hagabah, sons of Salmai, sons of Hanan, sons of Gidel, sons of Gehar, sons of Reaiah, sons of Ratzin, sons of Nekoda, sons of Gazam, sons of Uzzah, sons of Pesach, sons of Besai, sons of Meunim, sons of Nepheshizim, sons of Bazbuk, sons of Hakufa, sons of Narhur, sons of Batzlith, sons of Mahida, sons of Harsha, sons of Barkos, sons of Sisera, sons of Tima, sons of Netziah, and sons of Hatifa, the sons of Shalomo's servants, sons of Sotai, sons of Sophereth, sons of Parida, sons of Ha'ala, sons of Darkon, sons of Gidel, sons of Saphatia, sons of Hatil, sons of Pokereth, of Tzebayim, sons of Ammon. All the Nethanim and the sons of Shalomo's servants were 392, and these were the ones who came up from Tel Melah, Tel Harsha, Kerub, Adon, and Emer, and these were unable to show their father's house and their seed, whether they were of Israel. Sons of Deliah, sons of Tobiah, sons of Nekoda, 642. And these were the priests, sons of Habiah, sons of Coats, sons of Barzillai, who took a wife from the daughters of Barzillai, the Gileadite, and was called by their name. These sought their register among those who were counted by genealogy, but it was not found, so they were barred from the priesthood as defiled. And the governor said to them that they should not eat from the most set-apart gifts until a priest stood up with the Urim and the Thummim. All the assembly together was 42,360, besides the males and their female servants. These were 7,337, and they had 245 men and women singers. Their horses were 736, their mules 245, camels 435, donkeys 6,720, and some of the heads of their fathers' houses contributed to the work. The governor gave to the treasury 1,000 gold denarii, 50 basins and 530 priestly garments. Some of the heads of the fathers' houses gave to the treasury of the work 20,000 gold darcies and 2,200 silver minas. And the rest of the people gave 20,000 gold darcies, 2,000 silver minas, and 67 priestly garments. So the priests and the Levites and the gatekeepers and the singers and some of the people and the Nethinim and all Israel dwelt in their cities. That's going to conclude the reading for today. Tomorrow we will pick up chapter 8 through 13. I want to thank you guys for being here and bearing through that with me. Genealogies aren't always the most exciting to read, but they're in here for a reason. So I want to encourage you to look at all of this as valuable. You know, as it says, I think in 1 Peter, you know, all scripture is profitable for use of doctrine, and it has value. Now I'm paraphrasing that scripture. I shouldn't do that, but I don't have it memorized. But it's all in here for a reason. He gave us his word, and his word is alive. So there are things right in front of our face that we may be overlooking that are of great value. So if there's nothing else to glean from what we read today, these guys work together fervently, and they, even in the midst of threats of violence, they were working and getting a miraculous amount of work done in an amazingly short period of time. So you know, we put our hand to the plow, so to speak, and we do what we have to do, and we do the best to do it, and the Father does the rest, really. So, but anyways, that's where I'm going to leave it off for today's video. Bless you guys. Thanks for being here. Hit the thumbs up on the way out. I appreciate each and every one of you. I love you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow. Shalom.